Do I regret buying this? Maybe. Do I regret reading this? No. Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book review of Life and Death, Twilight Reimagined by Stephenie Meyer. Like the rest of the world, I was completely shocked when it was discovered that Twilight, the 10th anniversary edition that we all knew about, and I definitely wasn't going to pick up, I just had no interest in, you know, a letter or forward, whatever I was expecting, actually turned out to be, instead of a forward and a letter, which are in here, another book. Oh, that's not the book. This is the book. Another book in the Twilight series. Well, it's not another book in the Twilight series. It is Twilight, but it's Twilight reimagined, with all the characters gender swapped, except for a few characters. Those exceptions are Renee and Charlie, which she explains why they aren't gender swapped. Her reasons are completely reasonable and I completely understand, and I don't mind at all that they're not gender swapped. Everyone else is gender swapped. Edward is now Edith, and Bella is now Beaufort, which we call Beau in this book. I know Beaufort though. Such a weird name. I'm happy that it just sticks to Beau. As soon as this book was discovered that it was coming out, I went to the shops and I had to buy it. I think it was a very smart marketing decision to just drop it on us, because therefore it gave me no time to actually think about if I actually wanted this book, if I actually didn't want to wait, you know, till it was out in the library. I could borrow it from a friend and read it from there. No, it made me want it then and now without thinking about what I would feel like in the future. And so I looked and looked and looked and I finally found it. This cost me $25. Hurts my heart. It annoys me that you can't buy Life and Death by itself, that you can only buy it with Twilight. It also annoys me like that they're like upside down like this. Like, I see what you're doing, but why not just put them both the same way? Annoying me. I have to go like this. I'm not like a magic person. I can't do this, alright? I mean, I already have Twilight. I don't need another copy of it. And really, did I need Life and Death? No. Am I gonna reread it again? I don't know. Probably not. If I reread the Twilight series, I'll just probably reread Twilight, not Life and Death. But do I regret reading it? No. I'm not gonna get into what Life and Death is about, because it is just Twilight reimagined. It is Twilight, except the characters are all gender swapped. So if you know what Twilight is about, you know what Life and Death is about, except to swap Edward for Edith and Bella for Beau. So let's get into the things I enjoyed about Life and Death and things that I didn't enjoy. In some parts, the gender swapping worked really well, and in other parts, it didn't. It fell flat. In things that Stephenie Meyer changed, wherever it was a simple sentence, the way a sentence was worded, a whole scene, she definitely had those little changes all throughout the book. And in things like that, when things were changed and the characters were saying something, it worked. At some points it was even funnier. For example, when Charlie is first introduced to Edith, Beau and Charlie kind of fight and push each other and shove each other back, trying to get to the door first. It's something I could totally imagine and was quite funny. However, when it just seemed that Stephenie Meyer just controlled F'd, I'm pretty sure it is. Is it Control F? I'm gonna sound like a dickhead if it's not, but I'm gonna go Control F. When it seemed like she did Control F and just, you know, changed Edward to Edith and Bella to Beau. When Edward was saying something but now it's Edith, and when Bella was saying something but now it's Beau, it was hard to imagine a boy or a girl saying things that I couldn't imagine a boy and a girl saying. It just didn't work for me. Other things that didn't work, I think Carlisle was called Carney or something, and I would just read Carney as Carlisle. Like, there are just some things that for characters that weren't as developed as Beau and Edith, when their gender swapping names came along, I just read them as their original names. I was obsessed with Twilight back in the day. I'm even going to do a video on my Twilight story. I know that everyone was obsessed with Twilight, but I was one of the bad cases. I don't regret it. I love Twilight still to this day. Maybe not the books as much, definitely not as much, but I still love them. I don't regret my Twilight experience at all, so I'll definitely be doing a Twilight story when it comes out. But anyway, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that these characters have meant so much to me that when I read their names as their gender swap names, I can't picture it. It doesn't work. And at times I would get confused. Like, Rosalie is now named Royal, and I would just even confuse me. Their gender swap names at some points would be like, hang on, who is this again? Or I would just completely ignore their gender swap names and call them by their original names, because it didn't work for me. So up until this point, I wouldn't recommend Life and Death. But then something happened. The ending of Life and Death is completely different to the ending of Twilight. Completely different. And and it was fantastic. There was at least 50 pages of brand new content and I loved it. I loved it so much. It worked fantastically and I loved it. I loved having this U ending. Without this U ending, I don't think I would have recommended Life and Death. Because of the U ending, if you're a Twilight fan, it's gonna be hard to resist it, I think, if you're a Twilight fan. I think we all know this. So I think it's worth it for the ending. I do like some of the grammatical issues that Stephenie Meyer fixed up. For example, in Twilight, Edward is described as boyish. Like, what is boyish? Someone please tell me what is boyish, because I do not know. Oh, that's another thing I should know. Actually, before I even knew about Life and Death, I decided to reread the Twilight series. I don't know why. I haven't reread them in, 5 years? But no, I just decided to, and so I did. And halfway through Twilight, this came out, and so then I picked up this. I got halfway through this, and then I thought I would finish Twilight and then go back to this. So Twilight was still fresh in my mind, which maybe would have also helped confusing me in the gender swapping of names and everything, but it also helped me find the comparisons and know what was different and had been changed. After finishing both Life and Death and Twilight, I decided to reread the whole Twilight series, and I didn't like Twilight as much. I could definitely see the flaws. New Moon got better, Eclipse got even better, and Breaking Dawn was just fantastic. I didn't expect that to happen. You know, I had all my critical glasses, but I don't know, I just apparently still love Breaking Dawn to this day. As soon as I finished Breaking Dawn, which I read in one day, and you know, if you've read Breaking Dawn, how big that book is, but I just wanted to reread it again. I didn't, but I wanted to. Anyway, I'll be discussing it more in my Twilight story, which I highly recommend you watch when I do it eventually. I'm gonna try and find photos to back with me in the Twilight days, so that should be interesting. But yeah, Life and Death. It was interesting. I wouldn't recommend spending $25 on it. It wasn't worth it for me. I wish that I had borrowed it from the library. However, now that I have it, I'm not gonna get rid of it. I liked it. I liked the things where Stephenie Meyer had actually changed things, especially the ending, or when she just changed scenes and paragraphs to suit the U, Edith, and Beau. However, when she just didn't change things and just swapped whoever was saying things, it didn't work for me. And some of the gender swap characters didn't work at all, especially if they weren't well thought out or just side characters. Giving Life and Death, I think, a generous 3 stars. Really, I think it deserves a 2 stars, but I'm giving it a generous 3 stars because of that ending. I just loved the ending. It was fantastic. I just loved that there was 50 pages of brand new content. I love that Stephenie Meyer cheated and changed the ending. It was fantastic. Loved it. Let me know in the comments below if you have read Life and Death and what you thought of it. And like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more book related videos from me, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye!